Hello guys, welcome back to Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. Today we have a really nice brand from the past that's been revived in 2018 or has been revived, and that is Nivada Grenchen. So this is a brand that produced, watches way back in the day. And they're actually founded in 1879. They became Grenchen in the 60s, and then in 2018 they were revived. A lot of fans and current fans of Nivada Grenchen or their vintage pieces, really wanted modern materials, movements, and such, but with their same vintage design, I assume. And they went ahead and revived the brand, and they're doing really good. This is one of their newer releases. This is the Super Antarctic Vintage as the vintage style loom. Now there also is another option with the non-vintage style loom or non-fake patina dial. A lot of different options. This one's on the beads of rice bracelet, which is I think is the best option to go. About $9.75 in terms of US dollars, shipped to your door, and it comes with a warranty as well, which is very nice. It's a very true to form watch. It's an exploring watch. It's an adventurous watch. It's basically one that can be put through a lot of conditions. It's tough. It's durable. It's legible. It's actually very sporty as well. It does have a decent amount of waterproofness as well, which is very good. Now the watch itself has a black matte dial, which I think gives it that perfect vintage effect in my eyes. It looks really nice below that double-domed sapphire crystal, inner and reflective coating, making it very legible at a glance. The watch itself is housed in a solid 316L stainless steel case, some brushed and polished surfaces. We'll go over that a little more towards the center portion of the video. It's 38 millimeters across in terms of diameter, which is a very nice size for the the modern watch enthusiast nowadays. And we get 11.5 millimeters in terms of case thickness. Lug to lug, you're looking at 45 millimeters. We do have 20 millimeters in between the lugs. So yeah, very nice set of dimensions. I must say, it wears really nice on my 6.5-inch wrist. And I think it can at least go up to a 7-inch wrist. It depends on how you like to wear your watches, I would assume, anyway. But yeah, it's an automatic watch. Obviously, it is marked Swiss made, and we get that nice vintage logo, Nivada Automatic, Super Antarctic, 25 rubies, and you can see down there, giving a little distortion from that double dome sapphire. It does say Swiss made. Now, one thing I do like about the dial is that the second hand does reach all the way out to the fine minute markings, which is a big thing in my eyes, making it very legible, very easy to accept, very easy to set the exact time. I also do like the vintage patina on the watch. I think it looks really nice, and the loom's actually really good. I'll get you loom shot towards in a couple of minutes. I'll get you guys a loom shot. The loom's actually really good. Another thing I like is they didn't go with a Mercedes hand. They went with just a circle, and I think that's a little better. I'm kind of steering away from more of that's kind of Submariner style hand, which I think looks much better. Anyway. The watch itself, like I said, has a domed sapphire inner crystal, which is really nice. Gives us some nice shades as well when the light hits it. As you can see from a side angle, it appears a little different. It is poking out a little bit above this smooth bezel, which is highly polished. Now the crown is screwed down, as you can see here, and it is signed with their logo N, which is very nice. It's a screw down crown. We do get 200 meters of water resistance, which making this a very capable watch. Go ahead and unscrew the crown. Nice solid pop out. We can give the movement a wind here. Even though it is already running, this is a dateless movement. One position, set the time. Set it to 10:10 here. And there we go. Push that back down. Yeah, crown functions great. Might appear a little bit smaller, but I think it fits with the whole vintage aesthetic in my honest opinion there. But yeah. Anyway, some more stuff about the watch. Well, it's ran by a Swiss automatic caliber. It is a Swiss-made watch. They went for the Soprod P024. It's a dateless movement. It's a Swiss-made movement. It's very similar to the ETA 2824. It has 25 joules. It beats at 4 hertz. It's pretty accurate as well. A service every 5 or 6 years should be good enough for this one, I would say. Just like an ETA 2824, even you can even push it to 10 years if you really wanted to. But yeah, now. A big portion of the watch I like is actually this beads of rice bracelet, which is very nice. And this is one of the options. Obviously, you can get it on a leather band or something of that nature for a cheaper price. But honestly, I suggest going with the bracelet. It's very true to form. It has that nice vintage style buckle. And over here, it's very nice. It's very comfortable. It has screw links. It doesn't pull hair or anything like that. Just 4 micro adjustments, very simple, and you get that vintage style pressed clasp, which is one reason why I think they put a pressed clasp on it, because obviously the watches back then all had pressed clasps. And honestly, it slims things down a lot, and it's, you don't want this watch to be bulky on your wrist. That's just not the style of this vintage aesthetic. But yeah, I think it looks fine. And one neat thing that Nivada Grenchen does that no other brand I've seen does is there's actually like a slight cutout on the inner portion of the lug. Like for example, a Speedmaster kind of comes like downwards the lugs. They did their own little design here where it kind of, comes out over here. It goes inwards, which is really cool. It's a different look. And when you see it from up top, it just looks completely different, like no other case out there. The smooth bezel is highly polished. These sides of the case are very nicely brushed. The finishing is definitely on point. For this price point, this is definitely worth the money in my eyes. Case is very nicely finished, very thin as well. Now the case back actually has a little gold portion on it, which is actually really cool. So you can see here Nivada Grenchen in a gold color, screwed down case back, solid end links as well. If I get you in a little closer, you can see that little design of Nivada Grenchen, Antarctic, Swiss made. I think that looks really stunning. As for the loom is actually really, really good. I was quite surprised. As you can see, those hands glow really, really nice. They're evenly applied and filled, as well as the triangle markers. There's no loom on the sweeping seconds hand. You can see it when it does pass, the markers. As you can see right now, you can see it where it is going to pass. So at least at night you can see that. But vintage watches back then obviously did not have loomed second hands. That's just my 2 cents. But yeah, the loom is definitely good. It lasts quite a long time as well. So furthermore, guys, if you're looking for that vintage aesthetic or you're just a Nivada fan, Nivada Grenchen has a big cult following. Especially, there's a lot of pre-owned watches from the past. I know their new chronograph was extremely popular, and I believe this release, it definitely came out after the chronograph. It's just a very nice watch. Everything is very well made. You're getting a good movement, double dome sapphire. Everything is finished to perfection. I think for the price, they're not really cutting any corners here. Which a lot of brands do cut corners, but I think they're really giving you what you get for your money. Just a stunning, stunning watch, a watch that can stay in a collection for years and years to come, and it's never going to go out of style because, it's kind of a recreation of a vintage piece, right? So I think all in all, they did a great job on this watch. Obviously, I heard some other people say the crown's a little small. I mean, yeah, it could be, compared to the size of the smooth bezel. For me, it didn't really, affect the way I looked at the watch. But I think it's really stunning on this beads of rice bracelet, which I was saying, it's very nicely finished, nicely brushed. The brushing on the bracelet's just as good as the brushing on the case, as well as the polishing on those 3 portions of the beads of rice bracelet going to the center over here, which is really nice. I like the clasp. Doesn't look like a clasp on any other watch I've seen before. Of course, people are going to say, oh, why can't you put a milled clasp? But if you're going for a vintage watch and you want a real vintage aesthetic, you're gonna get a stamped clasp. It's not a cheap stamped clasp, it's a good stamped clasp. And I have no issue with that, especially for coming from a vintage, perspective. Look at the old Submariners, look at the old GMTs, they all had stamped clasps. And those watches still sell for $10,000 to $15,000. So, that's not really a big thing for me. But anyway, all around, I give this watch a go. I think it's a great watch. I think they did a great job. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, as usual, of the Nivada Grenchen Antarctic. We'll drop a link down to their website in the description below. There's also a special way, so you can get a free strap with your watch. If you use the special thing down in the description below, you can read more down there. Definitely like the video, subscribe to the channel. A lot of interesting content coming up real soon, guys. Once again, this is Watch Addiction with the new Nivada Grenchen Super Antarctic. And I will see you guys real soon. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye.